this lovely Chiltern bear. He's just come in and he needs rather a lot of repair.
I tell you, I put so many holes in myself.
Quiet, thoughtful, short. The central figure is a woman who has spent many years restoring dolls, bears, and toys. What really stood out for me was the sound. It was so intimate and close. There was a lot of silence, except for such things as a ticking clock, her sewing machine, water sounds, and the crinkling of straw as she stuffed a bear. I also loved the camera work. It was so slow and deliberate, using lots of pans of her apartment and extreme close-ups of her as she worked. Her interviews were so candid as she discussed her many relationships over the years. She seems to be a person of grace and sensitivity. Excellent film.
Getting to watch this woman completely in her element, bringing beauty to things that once had beauty, but lost it over time, is so special, and it feels so intimate. And I think there's something to be said for people who are able to restore things from the past, items, artifacts, etc., because we live in a world now where things are moving so quickly, and things can be replaced by the newer, better, faster, cooler, whatever edition. And oh, your teddy bear breaks, cool, we'll buy you a new one. And there really isn't that same idea of reusing, and it's better for the planet, but also you don't have to say goodbye to that special item. There are ways that you can bring it back to life, and I think this woman has such a gift, and you can see that on the faces of the people who she works with, and how she's able to really transport them back to this time when they were using this item every day, or their mother did. Items hold so much nostalgia and memory, and so it's just this really beautiful gift that she's able to offer other people. So yeah, this was really lovely.
Very quiet, very straightforward film about a woman who repairs childhood items that have been damaged, such as stuffed toys or playhouses. Although I'd say those two qualities are the film's greatest strength. I mean, a subject matter like this shouldn't get bombarded with over-the-top music or edits. I mean, I'm glad that the only part of the UK that we see is the woman's house, even though that might have been like a COVID thing. There were many moments in the film where it was just silent, but it was never awkward silence. If anything, that made the film even more grim because it never tried to fill that silence with anything. And of course, it doesn't just give us a glimpse into her work. She also delves deep into her past relationship. And while they're still on good terms and he even makes an appearance, you can see and hear the pain in her voice when she talks about why things didn't work out. And finally, it was just great to see the interaction with the owners of the restored items, because we find out through them like what sort of sentimental value it held for them. So overall, yeah, I really enjoyed this documentary.
Loved this documentary, Short Restoration. I thought it was really interesting how the filmmaker kind of took the approach of more of an observer than of like an interviewer. I thought it was a super interesting slice of life, and the filmmakers did a great job of capturing, a lot of these small details of, toy restoration through B-roll. And it was just really powerful to hear her story about, how her divorce led her to this path in her life. And it was just kind of an interesting profile on a relationship after marriage. And I think the title Restoration not only applies to the toys, but of her relationship. And I really like that you focused a lot on just diegetic sound, like the sewing machine going and the rain. I thought that was super nice and beautiful, and I think you did a great job of profiling this, unique and amazing person. So good job.
I was struck by how the filmmaker had a way of being present in the room with the camera that was very intimate and witnessed Pauline in her private moments, and also how Pauline was able to experience those moments with the camera as if the camera were not even there, but then still occasionally turn and acknowledge the camera directly in a very natural, comfortable way. I thought that the pacing of the film, while slower, was done so in a very thoughtful, careful, deliberate manner. I think what was interesting to me about this film is how Pauline's work seems to be the thing that consistently brings her the most joy throughout her life. And while other pieces of her life are changing emotionally, is something that she can fall back on and find solace in.
What talent displayed here. And through this talent, we get to know this woman on such a deep and meaningful level. And we also get exposure to her personal life, how her health and relationships have influenced her work and impacted it, and how they will likely impact it continuing in the future. We very much hope that she is able to continue her work despite the hardships, particularly those concerning her health. But it really is incredible craftsmanship, and to watch it be done is just some
moving piece. She's a very interesting individual. I'm glad I got to know her and to learn about her. I really liked seeing her work. The restoration work that she's doing is very, very interesting. I hadn't seen anything like that before, firsthand portrayed. So it was that was very informative and very interesting to see. It's interesting, of course, the whole thing being called restoration, and about her work kind of reflecting things going on in her life with her struggles with the NHS and with marriage. So, it was very interesting to see the parallels there. It was interesting that when we looked at her drawings, that she was talking about she would draw mirrors a lot, and wanting to fix things that she's seen. So a lot of very interesting things depicted here that really got me thinking, and it was a very good piece, very informative in that way. Makes you think about yourself, what you're going through. So, I wish her all the best, in what's to come. And I hope this piece gets out there and gets seen by people, because I think it has some very important and strong statements that could be very helpful. But it was a wonderful job all around in the creation of this film, and I wish the team all the best.